Buddy and Stephanie here from the Denman Homestead.
Did you say hi? Or did you say everyone?
I said, hey everyone.
Oh, I did not.
Hey everyone. I did say it, didn't I?
I don't know.
Now I'm second guessing myself.
All I heard was everyone.
Hey everyone. Buddy from
Take three.
Buddy. Oh my gosh. Hey everyone. Buddy and Stephanie here from the Denman Homestead. Okay. Want to talk about something with our pool that we bought. Now we bought it during the winter, so we got it for like a super cheap deal. But there's one thing that kind of annoys me about this pool, and I'll show you what it is. So this pool doesn't have a standard filter like you would think, where you just have a water intake kind of low, like around here or whatever, a normal spot. It's got this skimmer filter. So the water has to go into this hole right here, which can get stuck like it is right now. And you gotta take this off and empty this like tray of stuff, which, I mean, it does work, obviously. There's some stuff that got passed here, but it works. It's just not the best. It's not the best, like, cleaning. So I was trying to figure out what would be a better solution, but I don't want to cut a hole in this pool. That's what I'm trying to avoid doing, is cutting a hole in the pool. But I want an actual filter. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. Well.
Yeah, that's a good part of having the trampoline next to the pool. I'm gonna take a shower now.
Oh my gosh. All right.
They're in the barn.
The bar?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay. What was I saying? Now I'm like, I'm just completely. I was talking about filters. What's happening here?
Squirrel.
Okay. Everyone's crazy right now. Everyone's crazy. Anyway.
He said, do you dare me? And I said,
You dared him to do that?
no, he said, do you dare me? I said, do it.
Wow. Wow. I was not even paying attention to the background until you said, look out!
I know.
Okay, back to my point.
I'm sorry.
Wanted an actual filter, okay? So, we got an actual filter, like a sand filter with a pump, like a
Yeah.
fancy sand filter pump.
Not just that skimmer.
Yeah, not just a skimmer. And we got it from our friends Vevor, who have been like friends of the channel for a long time, and we use Vevor for all kinds of stuff. So I want to open it up and see what all it's going to take to get this thing running, because I want to get that actual filter on our pool.
Because every time it rains, which is daily now, our pool turns green. That's a problem.
It is a problem.
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't want to cut a hole in the pool, so we're gonna try and figure out how we can get this filter to work without me having to cut a hole in the pool.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. All right. My mom. Dang, this thing's big.
That's what she said.
Okay. Okay, well, there's the tank, the sand
Sand tank?
tank. There's the stand for it. It's like a valve lid thing.
No, ma'am. you want me to help you look for her real quick? You need help looking for her real quick? I'm sorry. I was looking for a baby goat.
Do we need to go find Katie?
I think we might need to look for her.
All right, here's the pump.
Okay.
Okay, let's go find Katie.
Let's go find the goat real quick. Pause. So in the bucket had some things, a little parts bag, and this hose,
I
but
think this hose just goes from the pump to the filter. So that means we're gonna have to end up buying 2 hoses.
to make it operational.
One that pulls water out and one that spits the clean water.
Huh.
One that pulls water in and one that spits the clean water out.
So it didn't come with everything we need to run it?
Not out of the box, it doesn't look like. I might actually have hoses somewhere from the little pool, from the little kiddie pool, because it's still in a box over there on my mom's camper.
Oh, okay.
You can see. One thing that's kind of cool about this pump is that it slides into this base. You can see these little grooves. The pump just slides up into there and locks into place. So it keeps the pump from wiggling around. That's pretty cool. Brought this in because the mosquitoes were getting pretty bad outside. So I did measure the hose and the openings that I need, and it's 1.5 inch pull hose. So I'm going to order that right now. So whenever the pull hose comes in, we'll be able to finish the installation of everything. Put some sand in it and all that cool stuff. So I will be back as soon as everything comes in and we can get this up and running. So I'll put links in the description for everything that I have. And just keep in mind, if you pick up this pool filter. So one thing that I realized while I was like trying to figure out what hoses I needed was that most people are probably not going to need extra hoses because this would be replacing their pool filter. So they would just disconnect the hoses from the filter that they already have and just pop it into the pump and the tank, and they'd be good to go. But in my case, I only have a skimmer. So I want to run a real filter and the skimmer at the same time, which is why I need extra hoses. In the meantime, I will need to come up with some sort of way to put this by the pool, because I want it, it's gonna have to end up being kind of like next to the pool so that the hoses can just run into it. Because I think that's what I think I'm gonna have to do. Maybe I can find some kind of clever way to make it look nice, but I'll have a project while I'm waiting for the hoses to come in. So yeah, I will be back. I'm back, and it's been 2 days, and I have the stuff that I need. I got hose that I'm dropping stuff from, and then I got this special kind of sand that they recommend for this filter. I don't know if it's necessary, but I got it. So let me show you one little cool thing that I just figured out. So when you're putting this together, you screw the little plug onto the bottom. You've got the actual filter part that shows you the min and max of the sand. But when you're trying to get it in there, it doesn't stay very well. I've seen people, when they go to fill up their sand, I've seen them take this hose and like stick it, I'll show you. I've seen people take this little extra piece of hose and like just kind of try and hold it into place while they're filling the sand up around it. Because once the sand's in there, it won't wiggle around. And then I realized that this thing came with this thing, which is exactly what this does. This part holds the pipe and it slides over the top and it doesn't allow it to move, and you can pour sand in past it, freeing up both your hands. So once you get it in there, it's just holding the filter where it needs to stay. And you can pour the sand right past that. So that's what I'm about to do. Okay, so one 25-pound bag of this stuff got me almost to the minimum line right there. Almost to the minimum line. So it's gonna be one full bag and just a little bit of the other one to get up to the max. All right, I got everything temporarily hooked up just using the skimmer. And right now I am doing the backwash, which is gonna make all the sand settle. Not really feeling any sand come out of here anymore. I'm gonna move it over to the rinse. Not feeling sandy at all. I think we got all the sand settled to the bottom. So now I'm gonna put it on filter. Put this little cap on here. Now I do have to tighten up these edges. I thought I tightened them enough, but they are still leaking a little bit, so I'm gonna tighten these up. But it is filtering now. So this is just kind of temporary so I could get it all set up. I really wanted to run both of these at the same time, but I'll figure that out. It is working and filtering very fast. The amount of water coming out of here is way faster than this little skimmer filter. So it's gonna cycle this pull through pretty quickly. But let me tighten those things down on the side real quick. Okay, so after taking it all apart to figure out where the leaking was coming from, because I thought it was just those not being tight enough, I had actually missed this O-ring right here that sits right on top and it smashes down on top of here. It had slipped and it was down in this area. I didn't even notice it. And I got that on there, so I moved my sand to a bucket so I can redo it all. Let's try this again. Okay. With the O-ring correctly in place now, tightening this side and that side simultaneously, or not simultaneously, but doing a little bit here, doing a little bit there, making sure that they're kind of tightened at the same. So I'm running the backwash again, and you can just see how cloudy and gross that is. So we're just gonna let this run until it starts to clear up, and then we'll move on to rinsing it, and then we'll filter it. All right, the O-ring solved the leak. We are filtering with no leaks. Yay, it's actually kind of double filtering, because when it goes through the skimmer, it hits like your standard kind of paper filter down there, and it's got the screen on it. So then it goes through that into the pump and into the sand filter, and then back in. And I think what I want to get next is a waterfall, like what Daniel and Lou have, one of those waterfalls that kind of clips onto the side and the filtered water comes out the waterfall. That'd be pretty cool now that we have like kind of a heavy duty pump on there. Okay, well, I couldn't record a whole bunch of it because it was kind of chaos while I was disconnecting the hoses and water's pouring out. I'm trying to plug new hoses onto it, but it's running, it's filtering, it's not leaking anymore, everything's buttoned down. The water's got a little bit of a green tint to it, so hopefully this thing running for about a day or so is going to clear it up. But filter seems to be working great. You just got to remember to backwash until you don't feel any sand, and then set it to rinse until you don't feel any sand and it's nice and crystal clear coming out on the rinse, and then you set it to filter, and that way you're not blowing a bunch of sand into your pool, which I kind of learned the hard way when I first set it up. I wasn't recording, I was just messing around with it, and I started feeling sand coming out of the thing, so I had to do some research. But yeah, backwash and then rinse, and then once it's all crystal clear, no sand coming out, then you set it to filter. Okay, it's a hot one. I'm going to be in this pool here pretty soon. But thank you guys so much for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.
On the Denman homestead, where the sun sets golden in the west, we live in harmony with nature, doing what we love best. From the garden to the kitchen, and the bees inside their hive. On the Denman homestead, come along and plant, nourish, thrive.